Welcome to Advertising Champions, your go-to destination for insights into the dynamic world of advertising. I'm Tony Stanol, and with us today is Maria Harrison, who is the president of Bullseye Strategy. Welcome, Maria.
Hi, Tony. Thanks for having me today.
Sure. Now, you guys are what would you characterize as a mid-size independent agency?
Yes, sir. We sure are.
And there's been a lot of chatter about mid-size agencies in the trade press, and I know that they're kicking some ass with regard to the holding companies these days. What's your thought? What's your perspective?
Well, I mean, obviously, I love that we can say ass. That's great. I love that we're kicking some ass against the holding companies. You know, I think one thing that makes a mid-size agency a great partner for an enterprise level company is that we really can be a true extension of their internal marketing teams. And so when we have really strong client partners at an enterprise level, we're able to assist with strategy as well as efficient execution of that strategy, whether it be in media or SEO or content marketing. And I think our enterprise level clients are finding great value in that partnership.
Right. And I've found that mid-size indies are much more nimble than some of the big guys. And also, you're not beholden to Wall Street in the same way. So you could make, investments in people, resources, and clients.
Right. And for doing that regularly.
And for you, I was surprised to see that, I guess I shouldn't be, but that you're fully remote. As an organization, not everyone goes that direction. Tell us about that.
Well, look, 2020 changed the game for everybody. For us, it was a very easy transition to go remote at that moment because most of our world was already in the cloud. Although we're based in Fort Lauderdale, we service clients internationally and nationally. So we have clients everywhere from Miami to New York to Nicaragua to the UK to California. So we were very accustomed to working that way. And although we had a physical office for, say the first 11 years that we were in business, as soon as we went virtual, we actually saw higher production from the team. We saw better thought leadership coming out of the team. And we found that it opened up the talent pool for us in a way that we had been limited to the South Florida area. And although we still hire plenty in South Florida, we are now able to hire all over the state and all over the country. So we have people in Dallas, we have people in Austin, we have people in Denver, we have people in Ann Arbor, Michigan, right? So it's really allowed us to find people, and we find that they have better work-life balance. And so they're happier when they come to work, and they can be more creative, right? Because this is a very creative job. Even if you're working strictly on, let's say, the media side and programmatic and running budgets and driving efficiencies, there's creativity to that. And we're finding that it helps people be more productive. And we still bring the team together physically from time to time. So we are very committed to getting together to do retreats. Creative retreats, operational retreats, and that helps to continue to foster a great sense of culture.
Yeah, fantastic. Now you're a digital forward agency, and Google had a big announcement last week about cookies. So why don't you tell us what you think the impact of that will be?
Yeah, so back in 2020, the year that changed the world, we were all upset as marketers and advertisers when Google announced that they would deprecate cookies within 4 years. So cookies have been the lifeblood of the digital advertising ecosystem, and most advertisers were, and many still are, heavily reliant on cookies to drive efficient advertising. And when they announced that they were going to deprecate cookies, you can bet lots of advertisers were upset, including us, including our clients. So that was the bad news. The good news was back in 2020 that it really forced conversations with clients, maybe medium-sized clients that hadn't quite gotten to thinking about how to operate with zero party, or first party data. It really forced those conversations, and it forced a commitment to CRMs and really building up first party data so that they didn't have to rely on cookies. Now, Google's announcement to delay the deprecation, because it is just a delay, it will happen at some point, is exciting if you're reliant on cookies, right? If you are totally, wholly reliant on cookies as an advertiser because you haven't built that first party data, or you're not working with, you know, let's say a DSP that's really able to identify an audience at a household level, then this was great news, right? It bought you a lot of time potentially. In the long run, we know they're still going to deprecate them, especially in Europe. The regulators are very upset that Google has decided not to deprecate them yet. And so while we can still use cookies, the long game is going to be cookieless. And in the long game, we're going to have these first party and zero party data opportunities at our fingertips. And as advertisers, we have to invest in those technologies, and we have to be ready with the creativity. So I think you're going to see on the creative, so that's all the tech talk, right? That cookie talk is tech talk. But then on the creative side, to make your media really efficient and to address the customer journey on multiple devices, right? Because cookies were created when people were surfing on one device, a computer. But today we know we're all surfing on multiple devices. It's going to force creativity at the agency and advertiser level to have strong sequenced advertising, to have the offer and the awareness ads differentiated, and to serve them at the right time to create that conversion point. So I think you're going to see much more creative advertising coming in the long term.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. Thanks for that smart answer, Maria, and nice chatting with you.
Likewise, Tony. Always a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And thank you for joining us on this episode of Advertising Champions. You could find this episode and others like it at dailynewsnetwork.com. We'll see you next time.
We've been around for 16 years, working with clients, with thousands of clients. We're working with agencies to be able to scale them and grow them and provide them services that would cost them way more than it would for them to do it themselves. Anything oriented around lead generation, video creation, web design, we're full service, so we can really serve most people.